Hey, what's up everybody? It's Bryan here with yet another 5-Minute Friday. This time I'm going to be covering the Content Aware Fill tool. What is it, you say? Well, it looks a lot like this. Amazing, right? So let's get to it and I'll show you how it works. Now, as a VFX artist, up until a couple years ago, there was only a few ways to do what we're about to do, which is remove this car from this shot right here. And basically, it was patching or using a 3D camera with a frozen matte or actually painting the vehicle out. A couple years ago, though, Adobe came out with this neat little tool called Content Aware. Now, this tool has actually existed for some time in Photoshop. They just moved it over into After Effects. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not perfect. However, on a simple shot like this, it will get the job done. On more complex shots, you're going to still be using the old tried and true methods of patching. But in this case, we get away with a Content Aware Fill tool to get rid of this car. So I'm going to show you guys how this works really fast. What I usually do when I use this tool is I duplicate right off the bat. That way I always have a place of judgment. And what I mean by that is because I'm going to actually create a mask and I'm going to mask out the car, but I at least want to have a template to go back to just in case I need to make some tweaks. Now, this is a simple shot. I wouldn't need it, but let's jump in. I'm actually going to go to the last frame on this one. And the reason being is because that is where the car is farthest from me, which means the least amount of information will be present to the camera at this time. And I want to use the least amount of information to go to the most amount of information rather in reverse, because usually what will happen is if you use a lot of information early and you lose it as a shot progresses, your track might not hold. And fun fact, I actually tried going forward on this shot and it didn't work. So let's just start at the back end. And I'm going to mask in pretty wide. I want to mask in because we have, and this is a little bit of shot knowledge. And if you're a VFX artist, this is why it's very key that you get the script notes if you're working on a film, so you know all the details so that when you're working on a shot, because even though we can see what's going on, it's kind of hard to tell unless you know what happened. And I can tell you the sun is over here way off to the high right. It's getting ready to sunset, so we have soft shadows going out, and now that I say, you probably can see it, but before then you couldn't. And so we have shadow here, and I want to make sure that we get the shadows in the track. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just switch over to my tracker. Now, one of the cool things about After Effects is when you have a mask, you can actually track this mask. So if I just highlight this mask, mask 1, come over here, the tracker window is going to change, and I'm going to just track on position, scale, and rotation to get started. But let's go ahead and track backwards, and let's see what happens. Okay, so here's a funny little thing, and I was going to cut this out of the tutorial, but I didn't, because I want to show like some of the complexities involved here that you may not see on YouTube channels. Like when we as creators show you guys how to do some of the things that we do, sometimes we cut out some of the things that don't work. And this is one of the things that I wanted to show. The track didn't hold. It holds till about right here, and then it just collapses. So a couple options here. I can stick with this track, and I might actually do that here. I'm gonna come in here. I'm actually gonna delete all of these frames. Let's go about right there. And then let's try and see if the track will pick it up. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. We'll have to restart. Okay, here we are, and it actually did not hold. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna manually track from here on out. I've got enough good frames to use. So all we have to do is just come in here, keep it solid. Good news is this is using my drone, and the drone does a good job of staying stable in flight, so the car's not going to jitter all over the place on the camera. And this is good enough for this tutorial. All right, cool. So now we have this shot. I'm going to go ahead and switch this to subtract. And then we're going to come over here to Content Aware Fill. Now, if you don't have it, just come up here to Window, and you have Content Aware Fill there. It should show up in this area. If not, you'll find it, because when you click it, your UI is going to change. I'm going to use an alpha expansion of about 15. I am going to do a little bit of a lighting correction because there's a lot of lighting changes happening as it goes up. Very subtle though. Honestly, I very rarely do I use lighting correction. The fill method, we're going to leave it as object for now. We may have to go in and use like edge blend and surface, but in this case, we're just going to use it as an object. And then we only want the work area. You don't want the entire duration. And let's just generate the fill layer. This will take some time in the process. When I click this, you'll see that I'll start an operation down here. It'll create a layer right away, but please pay attention to the operation down here, because if this is still going, it's actually still writing frames for you. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so here we are. Let's take a look at what happened. As you'll notice, it's patched the car already for us. Let's take a look. and the car is gone. If I turn on the back layer and then I turn this off or on, you'll see the car is just gone. This tool has really changed the game for After Effects artists in simple shots. Honestly, this is a tool that if you can get away using it, I highly recommend doing it. It will get the job done. Let me know what you guys think about this tool below. Do you like using the content aware fill tool? Have you never heard of it before? Let me know in the comments. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as I release videos all the time on After Effects as well as Premiere Pro, DaVinci, and other creative softwares. I'm a VFX artist. I soon will be bringing Houdini into the fold for you guys. I think that is a very powerful package for both motion designers and VFX artists. So until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.
I can't stop time for you. I can't stop time for you. I can't stop time for you.